Welcome to the Saturday Night Horror Movie Club. Tonight we have with us
Thomas McDonough.
Thomas McDonough, horror fan extraordinaire. We also have with us
Joe Sullivan.
Joe Sullivan, one of the heads behind Cemetery Gates Media. So we're in the process of trying to select a movie. So far we've looked at possibly Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell. Let's take a look at a couple more here. So let's see. The Barn, Halloween 1989. Sam and Josh are enjoying what's left of their final Devil's Night before graduating from high school. Trouble arises when the two pals and a group of friends take a detour. On their way to a rock concert, they find an old abandoned barn and awaken the evil that lurks inside. It's up to Sam and Josh to protect their something or other.
You see an old abandoned barn, you keep driving. You don't keep, let's investigate.
So Tom originally wanted to do Bone Tomahawk. What are you thinking about the barn, Joe?
I like the barn. The Bone Tomahawk sounds good. I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
But this is interesting too, the barn.
The barn.
It's got some nice horror elements.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. It's just...
All right, so let's go for a third one, and then we'll just do a random choosing here. All right, you know what? I think we're just going to... I really can't find anything that I like, so I think we're going to go with Mistress Luck. Anyone got a quarter? Anyone got a quarter on them so we can...
No,
flip?
sorry.
All right, let's see.
You got a water bottle?
Let's
Do a little
see.
flip bottle.
So, the cap to Victory Beer's Golden Monkey, which is really, really good. So, we will flip it. This side...
Are you trying to get advertiser dollars already?
No, this side will be Bone Tomahawk. This side will be the Barn. Sound good? I already forgot. Which side is Bone Tomahawk?
Oh, God, I forgot, too. I wasn't paying attention.
No, let's try it again.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
This side is Bone Tomahawk. This side is the Barn.
All right.
Looks like the Barn has won, so we'll be watching the Barn, and we'll get back to you later and tell you how it is. The movie is just starting.
Jason Voorhees.
We've got some pretty excellent 80s synth music. Girl's already been pickaxe in the head. We're not sure about some of the actresses' names. They might be porn stars, they might be not.
Only Kevin knows that stuff. I know.
Tom has never seen a porn movie in his entire life. I know
Not
for
at all.
sure.
Not in this lifetime tonight.
I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be a fun movie, so we will check back in a little bit. So we've taken an early break. Joe, what are your thoughts of the movie so far?
Oh, I like the pickaxe in the head element, and
This is nice. Tom, what do you think? Thoughts so far?
Well, they are really trying to tick off every box for 1980s horror. First, by shoving the 80s into our face. I mean, that started off with the father putting the phone down. Look at our old phone.
Yeah.
And, of course, let's all hang out at some barn when we have something else to do. Oh, let's knock on the door that's locked. It opens. Well, I'm going to go in.
I'd have... Oh, anything more?
I was just saying, I don't mind certain horror movies, but now and then I like to have a little, the victims can think.
Yeah. So far, we haven't gotten to the special effects yet. So far, it's actually not bad. They're definitely going for a 80s horror film vibe. The filming looks a little low budget, but the acting is passable, which in some cases, that's a blessing. So we'll continue on, and we'll check in again a little bit later. Okay, here we have finished the very first meeting of the Saturday Night Horror Movie Club, and we have finished The Barn. Here are our thoughts. Let's start with Tom McDonough. Tom, what are your thoughts about The Barn?
Flush the toilet on that spinning turd. That was one of those terrible movies that is not trying to be cute at all. They are just that bad. They try to, oh, it's 1980s. Look at all this 80s reference we have, trying to suck all off the teat of Stranger Things. It was just
Did
bad.
you just say suck off the teat of Stranger Things?
Yes, I
Oh, that's going to be worth at least 3 follows right there. I'm very much considering that this is going to be a segment not only here but on Into the Abyss that we should call this Tom McDonough's Hammer of Truth.
I'm sorry.
Tom McDonough's Hammer of Truth.
Look, believe it or not, I actually try to look for some positives and things, but this one didn't even try, okay? Someone just, it's kind of like, it's the Rochester garbage plate and your stomach can't handle it. You just throw it right back up again.
Oh, okay. Moving on to Joe Sullivan, which, by the way, if we haven't mentioned already, Joe Sullivan is one of the brainchilds behind Cemetery Gates Media.
Bravo.
It turned out some really, really great stuff with John Brell. So if you haven't checked out Cemetery Gates Media, please do that. Joe, what are your thoughts about The Barn?
The Barn's an incomprehensible story. Like, they're supposed to be going to a concert, and that's just not followed up. They're supposed to be being punished by 80's dad for trying to collect food for this old lady's food pantry. And
An old lady
never followed
portrayed
up.
by Linnea Quigley.
Linnea Quigley from Return of the Living Dead, dancing on the mausoleum, naked fame. She looks pretty old in this movie, but that's okay. People get older. It's just it turns into just punching and kicking and camera close-ups at the end for like a half hour, 40 minutes, just punching and kicking and stabbing. Yeah, it's not a very good movie.
So I'm going to be here to offer the slightly differing opinion. At the end of it, I'm going to unfortunately have to agree with both Joe and Tom. I am afraid that this will... Whoa! So unfortunately, we had a little device error, so I was cut off in the middle of my assessment of the movie. So unfortunately, in the end, I have to agree with both Tom and Joe. This is a movie that lost its way. It became too convoluted in its mythos for the demons. Too many things were trying to go on. And I'm actually going to disagree with Tom. Where Tom says it didn't try hard enough, I'm going to say it tried too hard. It probably would have been served better to have been simply a straight slasher film. I started off well as an homage to Halloween horror movies, but it just lost its way and had too many moving parts that just didn't make any sense by the end, as Joe Sullivan said. There were some interesting moments. There was a striking image, which I'll post some pictures on this when we complete this, with them in their Halloween costumes walking against the moon and the horizon. It was eerily reminiscent of Halloween 3's Season of the Witch, which is also reminiscent of the Seventh Seal, when they're all walking against and these are the things that sort of jump out at me. But unfortunately, I'm afraid that, like my cohorts say, it kind of lost its way in the end. So if we were to give final stars, Tom, out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
I only would give it a 0 if I would walk out on it, so this is a 1 for me.
Okay. Joe, what would you give it?
Yeah, it's a 2.
2.
Out of 5.
I'll be the softy of the group and say it's a 3, with the caveat of a lot of the stuff before it gets too convoluted is pretty good. Once the action starts, it just gets pretty much lost in itself. So anyway, I want to thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you in a month at the Saturday Night Horror Movie Club.
Take care.
Take care. Okay, there we go. I'll just edit all the rest of that out. All right.
Now can we go home?
Yes, you may.